All right, so let's have a look at my set, run them through what we fit for myself last time.
If I remember correctly, we ended up going Ventus in the woods, yes.
Yeah.
LTD LS, 9 degree with the Ventus 6X. Fujikura has updated their entire line to the new TR line, which is stiffer in the grip section.
Okay.
You can load it a little bit more, and it stays with you relatively well.
Okay.
The new Aerojet head, I do expect to see club head speed gains.
Yeah.
From last time.
Awesome.
Even with the exact same shaft in testing, we've seen generally players pick up 1 to 1.5 miles an hour.
I love the acoustics of this club.
Yeah.
I love the feel of it.
To be honest, all my gear I love. It's going to be hard for me to want to change out of it.
Where, when you're working with students, where's that sweet spot for swing direction?
Driver?
Yeah, with a driver. Because granted, with an iron, it's typically going to be left for a right-handed player.
Yeah.
Where do you like to see driver?
So I would rather most recreational golfers have an upward angle of attack or positive angle of attack than negative. And to do that, you're going to have to shift the baseline of your swing to be more out to the right. So after the very bottom of the golf swing, as the club starts working back around yourself, that would result in a rising angle. So then the face would have to match that.
I would agree. So typically if the angle of attack is up, swing direction has to be positive. Granted, there's always that outlier where you hit up and the club still moves left, which will tend to be a toe strike. But that's definitely how you can generate the most efficient ball speed and generally the lowest spin as well. Let's switch you out for the Aerojet LS, and then I'm going to give you the Fujikura Ventus TR Blue, which is going to be stiffer in the grip section, in the same flex and weight as before. So with your increase in speed, you're pulling harder from the top.
Yeah, so I get super
Yes.
narrow here. So I've got to try and feel like
So this, as soon as you pull from the top, it's not going to come this direction.
it's... Okay.
Much better. So very first swing, 120.6. Launch at 10.7, spin at 2,000 RPMs.
So we're done.
Yeah, swing direction 0.7.
Yeah, okay.
And that's the biggest story when it comes to driver tech this year, is we have reduced the drag of the actual club head. So the majority of golfers will see club head speed gains.
Okay.
Switching from even our LTD to Aerojet, or if they have a competitor's driver, they will see even greater gains. Great miss.
So that felt like it held its line a lot better.
Yeah,
You know what? Like I can feel that straight away in that section.
it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Yep. So that miss is 10-4 launch and 2,400. Not bad for a hill hit. What would you say your best advice for somebody that hits down at the drive? How can you get the average golfer to not hit down at the driver?
Favorite drill for driver. Grab ball, place it one club head in front, remove that ball. Your objective is to hit the tee out of the ground without hitting the ball on the ground. Once you've done that, then you place another one on top, and your objective is to, once again, do that.
Okay. That's a very good drill. The majority of the golfing public does hit a fade.
Correct.
So I'm going to bet 99 out of 100 students come to you and go, I fade the golf ball.
Yeah.
How can I stop fading the golf ball?
Correct.
Everybody wants to hit that beautiful soft draw.
Yeah.
And there's so many different ways of changing direction. Everybody does it a little different. The ball in front is a fantastic drill. Like it's change of direction, gives them a visual so they can translate a visual into a feel.
And the thing I really like about it, it is your own coach in itself.
Yeah.
Is because regardless of yes, ball forward, get more angle to your body, feel like you stay a little bit further behind. That can still produce a significant downward angle of attack.
Correct.
Unless you match them all up.
Yep.
However, regardless of how you go about it, if you're able to, for example, clip that tee out of the ground without hitting that ball, or, will test me out, the ball off the tee without hitting the ball on the ground, you had to have had an ascending angle of attack, unless you're super, super high off the ground.
Yep.
But that would be more of a beginner golfer.
Now, if you did not want to see that ball flight, being that our Aerojet LS is slightly flatter lie angle wise,
Yep.
we can position the driver in a draw setting,
Okay.
which is a little bit more upright,
Yeah.
which will get it so the face will release a little bit quicker.
Yeah. So for me, the miss going high and right is probably my biggest frustration with driver, and that would be when I get narrow from the top in the change of direction.
Yeah.
My lead wrist extends a little bit,
Yep.
and the face is open. So anything that helps me close the face,
Get that rotation.
I'm all for.
Lots of rotation there. Absolutely center faced.
That felt good.
That's 183 ball speed.
All right, I can get fast in there.
Fantastic. That would be 11.7 launch and 22.72 spin. 179 ball speed, 306 carry. That will play on every single property on the planet.
It takes the journey of building the speeds quite funny, because if you go halfway in between committing to it, it's the worst,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the old low, slow, patient to the top, and then try and hit it is one of the worst things that anyone can do for try and create more speed. For me,
Yeah.
gaining more power, going from being short and wide off the tee when I was younger, I think I was maxing out at 113 when I was playing, to then 129 a couple of months ago, has all been about making my backswing as fast as I can
Yeah,
to match up that transition to give me more time.
yeah.
And this is where, like, fitting in itself, Brandon's just understanding that as a fitter and talking with the fitter, communicating with the coach around what they're trying to achieve is just so crucial.
120 club.
It was a big heel miss and it went straight.
Yeah. So that's still 174 ball speed off the heel.
Yeah.
And the spin was only 2,600. Great. 183 ball,
Okay.
122 club, 10-1 launch, and 2,100.
That felt very manageable. Grip feels a bit thick relative to what we were talking about
Yep.
on our previous. So for me, getting it slightly thinner would help.
Quite a bit. The choice of grip size and diameter changes how the face releases. So typically speaking, from a fitting standpoint, if a player needs a little more action through the swing, I'll go slightly smaller in grip to get the hands more active.
Yeah.
If a player is lazy with their body through impact and they flip their hands, I'll typically go up in grip diameter to slow down the hands from releasing. So it's matching the release to the actual grip size itself.
Would you say that the majority of players who tend to fade the golf ball would benefit from not playing those thick, comfortable grips that they like?
Yes.
Yeah.
Most of them would benefit greater from a more tapered grip.
Okay.
Now there is scientific background that a thicker grip relaxes the hand so you actually swing a little faster. But then again, it comes down to that conversation.
Yeah.
As a player, what are you looking for?
Correct.
Are you looking to hit that 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10 further? Or are you looking to hit the center face and get that repeatable yardage? That is fantastic. That stiffer grip section's so much better for your transition now that you've picked up club head speed. That's 180 ball, 9.6 launch, 2,100. Apex at 94 feet in the air.
That was nice and flat. That was good.
Which is really good considering AOA was 0.8 down.
Yeah.
Great miss. Little low face.
Little low face and heel, but it's dead center of the fairway.
Yeah. So do me a favor and let's hit a couple with your current driver.
Yep.
Because I'm curious to see what the speed increases are. I got your current one back here.
Okay.
2 miles an hour. Slower.
Okay. And I felt like that was, held it off a little bit. It was a little bit toey, but ball flight was good.
Yeah.
I do like that launch, that there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I got out. I feel like I hit that good.
119 club.
Yeah, okay. So it's still not enough.
Yeah. Still 2 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Which is typically what we have seen on that LS head.
So it's the head.
Shaft helps a little because now you can actually go after it, not have to steer it as much.
Yeah, I definitely feel in the grip it's different.
Yeah.
I feel that the length helps me of this one. Get the center slightly more to the toe, so I do love the length of that.
Yeah.
Once again, it's just a little bit too soft through here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. Which is causing a little bit greater dynamic lofted impact.
Yeah.
So then you generate a little bit higher spin because the impact's slightly lower on the face. Let's switch back to the Aerojet. Because ever since we switched the hosel, face rotation's better, delivery's more neutral, and you can just free swing instead of steer.
Correct.
Yeah, it's just faster.
Just got to be patient at the top, and that just feels faster off the face.
Yeah. 2.5 miles an hour club head speed.
So this has got a slightly different face.
Yes.
So it's not milled like that one.
Correct. We had a unexpected performance gain by changing our internal weighting. So in Aerojet, we have a bridge weighting where it's based off actually Leonardo da Vinci's bridge.
Okay.
So it's an internal bridge structure, which is there to lower the spin and keep the CG forward while keeping it more forgiving.
Yeah.
We didn't expect to get ball speed gains out of that positioning.
Out of that.
So when we had the milled face, we milled it so the tolerances were extremely tight, so you got maximum ball speed out of it regardless of impact location.
Of where it was.
So this does have our hot face though, which is 16 sweet spot zones.
Okay.
So it has a variable
I
face
need them all.
thickness that we have worked using AI to create variable face thickness all the way through. So if you hit it out on the toe or zone 15, 16, which is out in here, the ball speed loss is very minimal compared to where it is in the center.
Interesting.
So just a little different way about going about it. That's really good.
Yeah, it's like such a small change, but it's a small change in the feel.
Yep.
But I feel like it's a big change in the
Ball flight.
loft and the flight and
Yeah.
all that. It's here, it definitely feels more stable through that section. And then when I go about doing my my speed training, 2 weeks time, I'm doing some more to see if I can break 129. It's a bit of a different swing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a lot more, so it'd be very interesting to see if I could get through.
You use a lot more ground force than you typically would in your normal swing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anything that goes a little bit more straighter on course, I could definitely use. So this is great.
And 2 miles an hour more.
Yeah, love
Club
it.
head speed.
Gotta love the wins.
All right, so now we're going to switch and we're going to showcase our other models. So we've hit Aerojet LS, which is our low spin, flat lie angle, slightly fade biased or neutral biased, depending on who you ask. Now we're going to go into our standard Aerojet, which is our back weighted, more forgiving, slightly higher moment of inertia driver that is just easier to hit.
Easier to hit.
Yes.
Okay, I like easier to hit. So for, let's say, the average 80 shooter, what sort of difference in ball flight should they
That
see?
is a good question. So
It's also a very generic question.
it's not necessarily geared towards a specific handicap or average score golfer. This is just for somebody that might need a little bit more upright than our LS provides, and also it's a great benefit to have a back weight when you hit up on the ball more. So if the golfer hits up 3 or 4 degrees, you give them a back weight, it stabilizes those miss hits. So we have players out on tour playing this head as well,
Yeah.
as we do with the low spin. The spin difference between the two heads is much smaller than you would think.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 150 to 175 RPMs.
Okay. Which is
Vi-
nominal.
That's an impact location difference.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So
So
what should I expect with this one here?
A little higher launch. So you went from 9.5 to 10.3.
Yep. It feels very much just that little bit higher. Does and in terms of feel and acoustics and that sort of thing relative to the other model, very similar?
I would say it's completely different.
Okay.
So when you have our Aerojet LS driver, which has our front weight ports in it, anytime you move mass forward, it changes the acoustics.
Okay.
Anytime you move mass back or in the heel, it changes acoustics. So we work really hard to make the drivers feel very similar.
Yeah.
But from my position back here while you're hitting the shot,
Yeah.
they sound completely different.
They sound completely, yeah, definitely
Yep.
from my perspective as well. And this one here looks like it sits a little bit more closed
It is square versus flat.
versus flat. Okay. Because it's more upright?
Cast is more upright, yes.
Yeah.
11.6. Still almost 180 ball. And you're going to get a spin rate right around 22, 23.
Yeah, it just feels like it's a little bit softer in the air.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So that's the standard head.
Aerojet.
And what do we got next?
So 3 heads in line. We have our LS, our standard Aerojet, and then our Max. Each one of our drivers has its own independent line angle range, and each one has its own CG differences.
Okay.
The Aerojet Max driver is for the golfer that needs help rotating the face closed.
Okay.
We have a back weight and a heel weight. Weight in the heel, maximum face closure. So for you, I expect it to use its turn signal and go hard left.
Okay. I can make it go hard left.
Oh yeah. And also with the weight in the heel, it will launch higher than the standard head as well.
Okay. And when they're producing all these clubs, do they work on making the aesthetic as similar as possible between them? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because they all look very similar besides the subtleties of how it felt when I put it down next to the ball.
So
This one-
our goal is for every single player that plays our product line to have that look and feel of what they're playing out on tour,
Yeah, yeah.
while hiding and maintaining all the forgiving factors that we construct into the drivers. Oh yeah.
That felt like if I hit that exact same shot with the previous two, it would have probably leaked a little.
Yeah.
But that one there just stayed its line,
Yep.
if not drew perfectly.
Yep. And that's 170 ball speed, 12 launch, and 2700 spin. So you notice each step it's gone up about 150 to 175 RPMs.
From a player's feel, you can see why it's so important for no matter what level you're at to get fit relative to your equipment. Because I put this in my hand, and even though it's going to help me turn it over and straighten things up, it feels just the sensation in my hands when I'm over the ball, like it's hard for me to go at it. What would you attribute that to? When someone says that, like, I'm finding it difficult to articulate why, but is it a look thing?
It's a look thing.
Yeah.
So being that this is our most upright line angle in our entire line, and everything in your world is
That's what it is.
flat.
That's what
Everything.
it is. Yeah.
So when you look at this golf club, if you think, okay, if I'm going to go after this,
Yeah.
you're instantly going to think it's going to move left.
Yeah.
But in all actuality, if you go after this, it's just going to launch it higher. So it went hard for me. So you notice it just launches higher.
Yeah.
That's 13.6 launch at 178 ball speed. Spin rate, 2,735.
Yeah, so it's just like, sometimes you think it might be a little bit inconsistent in how much of a measured step up it is, but it shows you how well they are designed between the models to achieve exactly what they're looking for.
So 3 shots each model. With our Max, you average 2766 spin. With our standard head, you are averaging 2487 spin. With our LS, you are averaging 2296 spin.
Yeah.
So each one of those is a 180 RPM step.
That's crazy, crazy. And from a feel standpoint, for the level that I'm at, definitely the first one.
Yeah.
Even without comparing, it felt great relative to my previous driver.
Yeah.
Little adjustments like how the handle felt as I was coming down to my downswing, and then also really just the look and feel through the moment of impact. And then going straight into these two, I didn't know if it was going to get better or worse, but then relative to where I'm at for my level, that's why you selected that driver, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
Like these two, they're still great, but they're nowhere near what that first one was.
Correct.
Yeah. This is my current driver with the LTD LS with the Ventus. It was a little bit too soft in this section.
Correct. Softer in the grip section.
So then we upgraded the shaft, got a couple more mile per hour out of the head. But there's also a model that, relative to your swing speed, would be very accommodating, right?
Correct. We have our Airx line of products, which is geared towards moderate club head speed swingers of the golf club.
Okay.
It features lightweight construction, light shaft, light grip, light club head, and also offset to help correct for those slicers that, you know, just need a little bit more help than what our Aerojet Max can do for that player.
Yeah.
One huge benefit is players will actually hit the ball slightly further without loft jacking, like we mentioned earlier when we were talking about the irons and how last year in tech you hit tech substantially better, but it went too far.
Yeah.
So with the lighter weight added loft, it just helps that player get the ball more airborne. And that Airx is a separate family line where we go driver, hybrids, fairways, irons.
Does it come as a package set or?
And it does also come in package set form as well.
Yeah. Okay. So this is built with the player in mind, who is probably hitting low fades, can help with a little bit more height.
Yeah, low fade, someone that just needs some trajectory help.
Yeah.
Someone that might need a little bit more draw biased. So we have a little more we have offset on this product line to help with the keeping the face squarer longer and helping the face swing shot with that heel weight.
Yeah, definitely feels a lot lighter in the hands for me. I like how it's still got very much the same aesthetic on the top with these markings here, which make it very similar to the rest of the line, how they look similar in regards to still using a club which looks like the tour players, right?
Playing something that is outside of what you see.
Correct.
The best players in the world play.
But all in all, so this is a great option for a lot of players. Now, in regards to fitting this club, how would you go about that?
So fitting Airx is just like we would for a set of irons, where we would find the proper shaft, we find the proper weight, the proper length, the proper lie.
Yeah.
When it comes to the driver, it's a little bit different because it is a glued-in bonded hosel.
Okay.
So most of the time, we would have aftermarket shafts that we have pre-assembled in these.
Yeah, similar to this.
Yeah, but most of the time, the player that is going to be playing the Airx needs that lighter weight, that softer shaft to get the face to rotate to increase the loft.
Yeah.
Versus a more pro level shaft like we did in your LTD LS.
Yeah, sounds like it's going to maximize performance for a lot of players that are swinging it at that level that needs exactly this.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.